All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining us on this call. The objective of today's call is to take about 30 minutes to provide all of you with the most updated information and all of the things that you'll need to know about what's happening with our growing team. And I want to start by saying, please, everyone on the call, mark your calendars for Saturday, February 24th, 2018. That's in about 3 weeks at 1 o'clock p.m. at the City on the Hill Church. That's at 16425 Ishida Avenue, Carson, California. We're going to be there, and you've gotten this information in an email, but I wanted to remind everyone in person on this call that this is where we're going to be gathering for our Los Angeles, Orange County area guest event. Now, we're calling this event Discover Life Wave Energy Medicine. We could literally call it a launch event because this area, it's literally almost uncharted territory. Now, the 24th event, and I'm excited about this, is going to feature the inventor, the founder, the CEO of LifeWave, Mr. David Schmidt himself. He's going to be the keynote speaker, and he's going to be there to share with you and all of your guests, because we should be all inviting as many guests as we possibly can to this gathering. Dave is going to be presenting information about energy medicine, what it is, why he developed this groundbreaking human software that we're all so excited about, and why this is the best alternative to the opioid crisis that we're really facing right now in our nation. This event is going to be co-hosted with Therese Santos, our illustrious, beautiful leader who works around the clock to support everyone's effort on this team so that we can win here at LifeWave. With that said, I want to just toss the call really quickly over to you, Therese, just so you can introduce yourself and share anything you want in regard to the upcoming event on the 24th. Therese.
All right. Well, thank you, Gwen. You are listening to you, you motivate me. You have such an empowering, just personality, and there's so much life, and everyone is so, including myself, fortunate to be working with you. And of course, today's call really is just to give notice to the 24th and save the date, and I'll speak to that. But it really also, I don't want anybody to get confused. We are definitely going to be speaking about the expo today, and we have David Schmidt himself on this call, and I'm going to be making space for him to be sharing his wisdom and all that. But Gwen, to honor your request, I am so convinced that we have the best product in the world, and at the very best time in this country, because people really are, I think most of you know that, LifeWave is not a new company. It's certainly not a new idea, but it is the best idea for what people need to really be doing today for overall wellness. And so that's what the 24th is all about. It has been strategically planned to take place after the expo, because whether or not you have contacts, family, friends in the LA area, Orange County, I want you to think broad. It's a Saturday. That means people are not, they're not going to resist wanting to, they're not going to resist that drive on a Saturday morning, maybe where they might during the week. And so doors actually open at noon. So I want everybody to just, there's going to be a wonderful invitation for this. There'll be a landing page, and all that is to come. But doors open at noon, which means people can literally get up, have breakfast, do what they need to do, and be at this event with us. And it really is going to be a first exposure event for a lot of the people, that and so I really want you and everybody listening to this call now or for the playback to not only save the date, but start letting everybody that you want in that room, tell them to save the date, that something incredible is happening that day. It is about your passion. And the other thing is that when you are at Expo this coming weekend, it is then that not only are they going to have a chance to try the product and learn more about it, but right then and there, you can actually have their registration link so they can be signing up for the event where they get to learn much more. And they can bring people that they know. So there really was a whole method behind making sure that the guest event follows the expo. So there's a lot more details to come. And so Gwen, if there's nothing else we want to add to that besides we're going to have a link. Kathy Booker is such an important person in this group, and she is creating a beautiful web page, a single landing page, where we can, and all of you, we can all be inviting our guests from. Keeps it really simple, very fresh, and you know, I'm a big believer that a confused mind does nothing. So having everything just really ease. We want everything to be fun, high vibe, and, you know, lots of energy and ease around it. So, Gwen, is there anything else? Otherwise, why don't you go ahead and set us up and introduce David?
Awesome. Well, let me tell you, Teresa, you motivate me. Teresa just mentioned the information about the upcoming Conscious Life Expo. It's going to be just for the sake of everyone on this line knowing for sure we do have a booth, and it's booth number 92. We'll be there in the International Ballroom at the LAX Hilton. So for those of you that's going to be co-exhibiting at the booth, we do have the most updated booth schedule. I want to share that information with those of you that are going to be there, so you can reach out to me. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll send out an email to all of you that has that staffing schedule, and so you'll know where you are supposed to be and at what time. Now, just like Therese just mentioned, the reason we want to tell people about the expo is because we want people to come. We don't want just to have those of us that's working the expo, but invite your friends, invite your coworkers, invite your family members, so they can themselves experience firsthand what's going to be happening, not only at the expo, but specifically at the Life Wave booth. Now, in our email, we shared with you all that we had a surprise announcement. So before I have David come on to share his wisdom with all of us that's going to be exhibiting at the expo, let me just say that there are times in life when words are simply just not adequate to express a person's magnitude of gratitude. And this is, for me, one of those moments, because not only are we fortunate to have David come onto this line today and tell us things like how to approach people at an expo, what we should be saying or doing, but I'm excited to announce that joining us at the expo this weekend and assisting us all as we share the amazement of LifeWave phototherapy is the inventor himself. That's right. David Schmidt will be there in person at the Conscious Life Expo at booth number 92, patching the masses, and boy, are we all excited about that. So, David, thank you so much for what you've given the world through LifeWave Phototherapy, and thank you for joining us today on this call. I understand there's a few people on the line that haven't met you, so if you don't mind, before you're finished, can you please just share information about your webinar and how people can connect with you there? With that said, welcome to this line. Thank you so much, David. Take it away.
Sure thing, Gwen. Thank you very much, and thank you, Therese, as well. And yeah, I am really looking forward to the expo this weekend. I think it's going to be just a phenomenal opportunity to meet a lot of people and get people involved with LifeWave, of course. And I've done many, many expos over the years, so I'm hoping to share some of the things that I've learned so that our members that are there can make the most out of it, so it can be as productive as possible. And as you mentioned, I do monthly training webinars, and this is available, of course, through LifeWave. And we send out emails about this, and you can also find out about it on our website on the events page. Because of my travel schedule, the webinar schedule is always changing, but we'll do it at least once a month, and we'll cover information about all different products. So regarding the what we're going to be doing this weekend, of course, we want to be able to demonstrate the immediate benefits of our products, and that's going to mean that we're going to patch for pain relief. So we've donated some patch products to the booth for this purpose, and there's a couple of ways to really optimize how you can get the most out of a patching demo. Some of these things, or actually most of these things, are going to seem pretty obvious, but it's worth covering nonetheless. And this is when someone is suffering in pain and you want to apply the patches. There's you could say a system of asking people questions and qualifying them before you put the patches on to make sure that you're going to have an outcome that's as favorable as possible. So what do I mean by that? The first thing is you want to ask them if they're currently suffering with pain. And many times people will say, well, you know, I've got arthritis or I've got some knee pain, and but if you don't ask them if they're in pain now, you're not going to know if you apply the patches if there's going to be any difference. So, you know, sometimes someone will say, yeah, you know, I've got some arthritis, and you don't want to assume that they're currently in pain. They may say something like, oh, it only bothers me in the morning, or no, it's not bothering me right now. Or they could even say, no, I'm taking pain medication right now, and so I'm not in pain. So you want to know those things first. If someone is using pain medication, applying the patches, you're not going to see the best results. Either they're not going to be in pain, or if the pain medication didn't get rid of all the pain, the problem is that pain meds and the patches compete for the same receptor sites that are associated with pain relief. So this is something that is very well known in the science of phototherapy. So that would be one of the first things. The second thing that you'd want to ask them, once you've established that they're in pain, you would want to know what is their pain level. So you could say, okay, 0 is no pain and 10 is the maximum level of pain. You want to get an idea for where their pain level is at. Another thing that you want to know that's really important, and this is going to affect what protocol you're going to use for applying the patches. And this is whether or not they have an acute or chronic pain. So is this acute, that's something that they've only been dealing with for a day or two or a few weeks? Or is this a chronic pain, something that they've lived with for months or years? So this is important because from the point of view of Chinese medicine, when someone has a chronic pain, it will always affect the kidneys. So you can expect pain relief by applying patches to the kidney points, which are on the bottom of the feet. So that's something important you want to know. Another important thing that you want to ask someone is the pain, where is the pain located, and have them point to the site of pain, and is the pain just in one part of the body, or is it in multiple parts of the body? So the mistake that you don't want to have is someone says, oh yeah, I've got this really bad knee pain, and then you're going to use a protocol to get rid of their knee pain, and then they might come back and say, well, yeah, now, you know, my knee pain's gone, but I still have my shoulder pain, when they never told you that they had shoulder pain. So it's important to find out, you know, are they in pain? How long have they had the pain? What's the cause? Because that could be a benefit. And you know, where is the pain located? And is there pain anywhere else in the body? And all of these things start to give you pieces to a puzzle and help you figure out which is going to be the best patching protocol to use. Now, once you have that information, you can start to patch. And the first thing, regardless of the type of pain, I would recommend that you apply a patch to the back of the neck using the Eon patch. So let's say someone has told you, okay, I've got this bad knee pain, and the pain level is at a 7. Or alternately, you could tell them, okay, let's say the level of pain is at a 10. Now that we've applied the patch, how much has the pain come down? Or what's your level of pain now? So in other words, we collect all this information, then we apply the Eon patch to the back of the neck, and then we wait 5 or 10 seconds, and we ask them, okay, is there any change in your level of pain? And usually they'll say, yeah, the pain is down 20% or 50% or, whatever that is. And then you can start to apply the patches, the ice wave patches, at other points. Now, let's say the pain is throughout the body. What we're going to do is use 2 sets of the ice wave patches. We're going to apply the first set on the bottom of the feet. So when someone has pain throughout the body, and let's say the pain is in their legs or in their upper body, you've got multiple places, it's good to start out by applying patches on the bottom of the feet. And in acupuncture, these would be the kidney 1 points. Of course, you don't have to know acupuncture. We just look at the diagram that's in the instructions. But you have them remove their shoes, and you apply them right at these points. And then you do the same thing. You wait 10 seconds or so, and then you ask them, okay, your pain started at a 10, and after we applied the Eon patch, it went down to a 7. Now, has there been any additional change? And they'll come back and say, yeah, now the pain has dropped to a 5 or dropped to a 4, or they could have complete relief of pain. If the pain gets down to, let's say, a 0, 1, or 2, you don't need to apply any more patches, right? If we get 80% or better pain relief, someone's going to be very, very happy with that. If you've got, let's say, 50% pain relief, I'd say, that's pretty good, but we could still apply another set of patches and, and go for more there. Now, if the pain is localized, the best protocol that we have is the clock method. And, of course, you'll ask the person to point to where the pain is. You'll apply a tan patch to the site of the pain, and then you'll move the white patch around the tan patch. So you have the tan patch on the pain, and about 3 inches away from that tan patch, you'll have the white patch. And just like a clock, you can start at the 12 o'clock position, ask them if there's been a reduction in pain, and then move that to the 3 o'clock, the 6 o'clock, the 9 o'clock, until you find the point which reduces the pain the most. And that protocol works very well. Now, because I'm going to be there on site, I'll show you a few other tricks. Like, for example, let's say that someone has some shoulder pain. Well, we would apply the tan patch to the point of pain on the shoulder, and then there is this acupuncture point called Triple Burner 5, and it's simply on the back of the wrist, and that point works wonders for relieving shoulder pain and neck and back pain. And that's a protocol that we've used very, very well. Let's say someone is suffering with bad headaches. Like once we had a woman, and I've, by the way, over the years, since 2004 when we started, I must have personally patched over 10,000 people. So, we've learned a couple of things along the way about doing some of these protocols. Sometimes you can have really weird things happen, like someone will have been in a car accident and they'll have terrible headaches, and there's some different points you can apply, like, for example, applying the patches to the earlobes will reduce pain in the head because the nerve connections on the earlobes are associated with the brain. So there's a lot of little tricks like this that work for specific cases, but basically the patching protocols that we have in our instructions work very, very well, so feel confident that those are going to work. And as long as you've asked some of those questions on the front end, your odds for success go up dramatically. So I really encourage that you ask the questions first, collect the information, and then start patching and have fun with it, and you'll be helping a lot of people. So Gwen, back to you.
Wow. Thank you so much, David, for that. And again, everyone that's on the line, this is a great time for you to be getting this information if you're going to be at the expo. But I also want to encourage you, just like David just shared these tidbits with us, take the time out to really take a look at the products, learn what each one is, so that when we're talking to people, and David, I would just ask if there's any advice you could give, just in terms of how to approach people. Let's say the people that are entering into the booth area, how to approach them. We'll have some signage, kind of coaxing them to come to us, let us, try, give you a demo. But what are some of the things maybe we shouldn't say to people?
Yeah, over the years, I've worked with a lot of different members on this type of thing. The first and most important thing is just be yourself and be natural. And, what we want to do is share these products with others. So we're not trying to do any type of high-pressure sales or anything like that. And, the benefit to this, of course, is that we want to be able to offer someone a free sample of our product so they can try it and experience it. So it's no pressure for any of you, and it's no pressure for the people that are involved. So that would be the first thing. Just be yourself and be natural. The second thing is the most direct approach works very, very well, and there's a number of ways of doing that. So one way would be you have someone walking past the booth, and you could simply say, we have a new technology that relieves pain with light. Would you like a free demonstration? And this, you'll find that most people will be very, very intrigued. Because first of all, they'll say, well, wait a minute, light for pain relief, how does that work? And is this some kind of laser or lamp or, exactly what is that? So this is a really good way to start a conversation, get people interested, and get them trying it. So that would be a very, very simple and direct way to approach someone as they're walking past the booth. And of course, another way is people come and say, well, LifeWave, exactly what is that? Say, oh, we have a new technology for relieving pain with light. Would you like a free demonstration? And that also works very, very well. So, but the important thing is, just keep it very simple, be direct and be to the point, because you have a very limited amount of time to capture someone's interest, and just be natural and be yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, David. And I want to ask if Therese, you're still on the line here, if you have any questions that you come to your mind to ask David about, in terms of what we should be doing. And this has all been very, very rich, let me tell you. And we will have a copy of this phone call to text out to anyone that may have missed the recording, I should say. But any other questions can you think of, Therese?
One question comes to mind, and again, David, thanks for that. I was taking a lot of notes here going, yeah, that is things that I didn't even know, so that's fantastic. So we definitely have that powerful, we have that, again, for lack of better wording, it's always a confidence booster to have a script, if you will, just, a solid script that we can just say, naturally, yet with confidence that will definitely, provoke people's interest. But my question would be, so that's how to really capture their interest with pain. David, do you feel we could use that same dialogue? Let's say what if somebody says, oh, I don't have pain? Could we use that with energy, sleep, stress? And what are your thoughts about that?
Absolutely. Teresa, as you know, I do a lot of travel, and
Yes.
very often I'll find myself sitting next to someone on a plane and strike up a conversation, and they'll say, well, what do you do for a living? And I'll say, I work for a company that has a new technology for relieving pain with light. Or I might say, depending on the person, I might say, we have a new technology in anti-aging, and it
Mm.
works with light. So yeah, absolutely that can be molded and adapted. So because we're doing the free demos on pain relief, that's what I'd recommend. But if they say, well, I'm not suffering with pain, then you say, that's okay, that's perfect, because we have ways of improving health with light, such as with sleep and anti-aging. What's your interest?
Oh, okay. So I'm smiling because that is not only the perfect thing to be saying. I mean, David, I love the fact that you're on a plane being as humble as you are going, yeah, I work with a company. Not that I own the company, not that I invented the technology. I
Well,
would,
it keeps it real.
I'm going to
There's
try to be, it does. Um, so here's what we have, is we just got a whole lot of schooling, did we not? Not just on
Absolutely.
how to be, yeah, absolutely, not just how to really be integrating this from really the step-by-step, how to work the expo and how to, just really how to communicate with confidence and just to trust that as you start, I mean, we have a huge advantage here, not just all the obvious things, but imagine the confidence, every single person working the demo over the weekend, the skill level, the confidence that you're going to have in your, just to go forward after this weekend is going to be powerful. But these are skills. Now we know how to really navigate the expo, but we also know how to navigate, when we're just doing life. We're out there, we're going to our jobs, we're at the gym, we're on a plane, we're at a restaurant, we're at a networking event. That was a powerful opening line, and then that is your go-to question. So because David's right on, that we the Eon and the ice wave are what we are demoing. It is the most obvious instant result. And so we absolutely want to open with that. So that is our go-to question. And then that's plan A. And then plan B is if they're not in pain, we don't go, we want people in pain. So instead we go, that's fantastic. Therefore, we do offer, you can say the same incredible, nanotechnology for anti-aging, or for energy using the same technology, which would interest you most. And so now we have, now we have the go-to question, and then we have the secondary question. And that gives everybody, does it not, just a sense of confidence, because that's always the fear-based question that people seem to enter these expos with is, what do I say? And now we covered what to say, what to do, knowing that David's going to be around both days, not the entire time, but both days, and there to support. And this call has been recorded, so what I would highly recommend is that you go back, and even though you were on this call live, for those of you joining us live, go back and listen to it again, and even again, and write down the dialogue, write down the steps. Just, double check and make sure that you have what you want. And then this also becomes a priceless piece of training that we're not going to get rid of this recording, right, Gwen?
Absolutely.
This can be shared on our Facebook page because it was powerful content training just for, this business in general. So I think that's all I have, and to honor our 30-minute call time, I'm just looking forward to what is possible this weekend. I think we just, Gwen, you've been extraordinary as leading this up, and I definitely want to give credit where credit is due. This is definitely a Gwen meeting. We're here at the Expo because of Gwen, and I just, again, appreciate your leadership with all this and your communication behind the scenes in between the call. And I know she'll be there early to set up on Friday. I'll be there to support. We've got, as you heard David say, we've got the company that really has been behind us, supporting us with this, including the demonstration products. You're going to want, though, however, everyone working the expo, I know Gwen has created a schedule. If you have not yet given Gwen your schedule preference, make sure to communicate with her after this call so she has you slotted. You want to make sure to allow yourself enough grace time to park. Another question that was brought up was what to wear. Don't be overly fancy, and that's note to self as well. But make sure that you are dressed, maybe black, something, a little bit more chic, just professional chic, but nothing, wear comfortable shoes, of course. And just make sure that, I know we're going to have water there, just make sure that you stay hydrated, that you have your protein bars and that you are just really feeling good. Check, you don't want any blood sugar dropping here. And you also want to make sure that, that when you get there, that you, and again, David, you certainly don't have to be on the call for this part, so feel free to exit if you haven't already. But what I would really encourage all of you to understand is that it is one for all, and the whole concept is that we are in this booth. So when you are working, when it's your scheduled time, is that be there. Yes, you're there for you, but we're all there for each other. And so there is so much. There's not going to be any shortage of contacts, and so the attitude really is that build relationships. So as people are approaching, as you are out and about, maybe taking a walk and meeting other vendors or meeting people in the bathroom, you certainly can go ahead and invite them back to our booth. Same opening question, but again, as people are approaching, there's no need for anybody to, there's no reason that there's any, competitive spirit going on here. There's so much available, so much for all of us. In fact, competitiveness actually blocks increase, blocks money. So you don't ever want to go there anyway. And so as people are approaching, just say hello and then go to your question. Stay with your person. If there's interest there and you're building that, you're communicating person to person. And just know that as you're working with someone, that is your prospect. That is your contact. So that's key. All names are not going into some bin and separated. When you're there, be there. Be present. Know that you're there to build your contact. So stay with your person, greet your person, invite your person for the demo. You can have and then at the end, you're going to, just trust that this is going to start to happen really naturally, where it's going to be obvious that they're going to want this product. So here's the question I have for you. So after you've now patched, and there's going to be a desire, they're going to want this product. And so my recommendation is to write this question down. So at that point, there's going to be a transition question, and you simply ask them. And trust that there's going to be some enthusiasm going on here and high interest. And so if you have product with you, which we highly recommended that you have product available to cash and carry. So if you have that, fantastic, bring your product, cash and carry. Make sure that you have a resource to take credit card transactions. Okay? If you don't, check with Gwen and check with myself, but you want to have your mobile phone and a way to run a credit card, whether it's a Square or, a PayPal or some kind of credit card merchant service for mobile. And we have, so that's important. So you have the ability, because every sale is your own. Again, I repeat that. So when you are building relationship and you're inviting someone for a demo, and that is your customer, that is your contact, your prospect. If they want the product, that's there, and you have the product, you sell your product. There's not a community bin of product, okay? And use your transaction, you use whatever mobile service you have to create that credit card transaction. Let me give you that question, and that is, once you know that they want this product, or maybe several of the products, because we have signage. Every show usually has some kind of show special, and so we've created an Expo special, and basically one for $99, or so any one patch for $99 retail, or buy two get one free. Are we still with that, Gwen?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so that is probably going to be your number one most popular one. People buy two at full price, and then get the third one free. And again, that is your transaction, and trust that that works out in the long run. All right, so let me bring this back to one final thing, and that is that question. How do you determine, or how do you navigate, how do you go from that interest to that actual transaction? Simple. You ask this question. You just say, there's two ways that you can purchase. There's two ways you can purchase today. There's two ways that we're offering two ways you can purchase today. Retail with our Expo special, and you point to it. 2 points. Retail with the Expo special. You buy one at our Expo price of $99, or you buy two and you get the third one free. Or today, right now, we're prepared to help you set up your own wholesale account. Or today, right now, we can help you set up your own wholesale account. And that's where we will also have the LifeWave distributor applications on hand. And they're so easy to navigate, because in the center of this, they actually have the bronze, the silver, the gold packages, and it clearly states how many patches they get and the wholesale price. And trust this, that if somebody's asking a little bit more questions and they need more clarity around a wholesale account, it is worth it. Do not be worried. Don't be looking over their shoulder. Don't worry. Just take a moment, finish this up, and right then and there they can complete a wholesale account and make their selections. And you'll get so good at this, but just they'll make their selections and be prepared to have a file folder or a tote bag so you can keep all your contacts, your cards. Come with your own Expo tote, so everything is neatly packed. Your protein, your water, your business cards, if you've got business cards, obviously your phone and your device for transactions. If you've got product, keep it in that one, not a lot of space. So when you come, be really prepared with your tote to have everything really easily condensed, pre-packed. So again, for simplicity, you ask them. You just let them know there's two ways they can get their product. Either the retail with that great Expo special point, or today we're prepared to help you set up your own wholesale account. And that's really the best pricing, and then they have access to all the product in the future at least a 20% discount. And you just go, which one feels best for you? Okay, and then you just finish that process up. I know I took a little longer here because I feel like all the energy and all the effort doing the expo, you want to know how to close and you want to make sure you get results. So Gwen, did I miss anything, or how did that feel?
I think that was fantastic. Thank you so much. So much wisdom, so much experience from you and David both. I just would add that I'm going to recommend, if you have not yet upgraded your position with the company as a distributor, that you take the time to do that before this expo. If you're an exhibitor or if you're just a part of this company, take the time, take the initiative, take the leap of faith to upgrade yourself to the highest level possible, and that's diamond, as soon as you can. And so thank you again, Therese. My deliverables for this call is that I will send out today a copy of the team booth schedule for the exhibitors at the expo, and I will also send out a copy of the link for this call. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you all this weekend that will be at the expo, working the booth, and for those of you that are just going to come by and be part of what we're doing as a LifeWave team at the Conscious Life Expo. Thank you all so much, and have a great day. We'll talk to you all soon.